Hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the series. I think this time around I'd like to try and change up the editing style a little bit. Namely, it's difficult to get a lot done in 45 minutes worth of video when you're showing literally everything that happens in the video. So I think I'm going to contribute a little more time and effort to trying to, show the important parts that actually have some value to them. I still want to keep the trivial work that seems quite boring. But I think it's important to still have that sort of gameplay in there, because it is a large part of the game. So I want to keep it, but I also want to be able to do more in an episode. And, realistically, it gives me an excuse to play more when I can get more done in a session or in a video that would be just one session. To start us out here, we're gonna try and harvest my little wheat farm. There's a fun strategy that I came across in order to prevent you from trampling the crops, which I know you can just not step on them, but, it's easy to just say, oh, don't do this, don't do that, and you'll be fine. I'd rather just be able to walk around. So, I believe that if you place a fence beneath the crop, since it is 1.5 blocks, it will actually hold you, or since it's like 2 blocks, I don't know how to explain it, but essentially I shouldn't be able to trample this. Normally when I'm jumping on dirt, it makes a dirt sound. But if I walk on this, it makes a noticeably wooden sound. So I'm walking on the fence rather than the dirt itself, and so I won't be able to trample the crop. And actually, I believe that should be able to work on mobs too. So if I really don't want to have this fence here, I could get rid of it. Now, of course, I'm not going to do that. I do quite enjoy the fence. But, I could. And I'm gonna keep this nice little path. I think it's quite nice. So I will try and get done. And the transition, which I like to get on this episode, and for the really. And there we are. I must say, this looks quite nice. Well, I mean, it looks exactly the same as it did before, but that was nice, so. Hopefully, I think I'm going to make that one of those cool little building compilation, whatever thingies you want to call them. But hopefully you enjoyed that. I don't know that I'll do that for everything, but you know, sometimes it's fun. So, my inventory all in order. This is quite nice. Can jump around and walk around to my heart's content. It is a little strange hearing wood sounds walking around on dirt, but I can't say that it's the end of the world for me. Actually, now that I think of it, there is something I wanted to try. A little bit of beta Minecraft tomfoolery, one could say. Involving slab transmutation. There are some very nice slabs one can get where it is actually the... Let me get them. It's actually the stone slab, but on the side of the texture, it uses the top face as well. So the side, instead of having these, this like seam, if you want to call it that, instead of having the seam, it uses the top texture on there too. And that's really quite a nice texture that I wanted to try to use. There were a couple different designs. I'm not sure where I want to put this. I'll probably just put it somewhere temporary in the meantime. But there's several designs in order to do something like this. But there's a certain one. I can't remember the name of the person who designed it. That's a creeper. Oh my. Well then. That was certainly a start. I did not even see them. Anyways, as I was saying, there is someone, I cannot remember their name, who made this design. It's really quite simple, and it's for that reason that I intend on using it. But I will link their video in the description to their, I believe it's a tutorial on how to make it. And there's not much to say after that. I'll do that and make sure to check him out. Give him some love and support. But I believe the design works like this. And oh, perfect. You have to be, there's a little, over there on my coordinates on the left, there's it says F, that's the direction you're facing. And in order to get the slabs that we want, I have to be facing direction 0. So that says 0, that says 1, 2, and 3. So I have to be facing direction 0 for this to work. But hopefully I may need, unfortunately I may need to find some slime to make this a little easier, but I'll do that when the time comes. So that did not work. I also need to have an empty slot here. Well, that's resoundingly unsuccessful. It might need to be a sticky piston. They may have mentioned that in the video, but if you're trying to recreate this, this is what it's like. Except this is apparently a sticky piston. So I will actually be right back as I do a little investigation here. Well, after testing several designs, I've come up dry. I mean, the only thing I can think of is it needs to be a sticky piston, not just a normal piston, which I can't do a whole lot about right now because I do not have any slime, and it is woefully difficult to find slime chunks in this version. You have to be on, I think it's like Y level 16, and slimes will spawn there. But there's no like chunk borders, and there's no like indication apart from the slime spawning. So it may be a while until I can transmute any blocks, but that's alright. That wasn't exactly the main focus of today anyways. That would rather be the rail station itself, which I think I'm going to try and finish up the floor, changing that all out for different blocks. And then once I do that, I will work on the staircase, finish up the floor for that, fix up that wall, do a little decorating up there. Really just kind of wrap this all up here. I was thinking slabs would be nice. Yeah, that looks quite cool. But I'm going to have some trapdoors here and here so that people can use the minecart and get through here, but then they can't. Any mobs can't walk through and follow you. So I think that'll work out. Just like this. So when you're on a minecart, you'll go right through this, but you know, a mob can't really get in there. I guess they might be able to do that. No, because it's less than 2 blocks. Ooh, maybe a creeper could, though. I think they are slightly less than 2 blocks tall. I'm not entirely certain. That grass is spreading now. It's good to see. Maybe I'll try. That is comically large. Slabs might do the trick there, actually. I'll have to test it out, but in the meantime, I'm going to use trapdoors because then I can get through. So I guess I'll either do one of those little time-lapse things, or I'll just kind of cut to when I've finished this. Now, what is the recipe for the button? It's not just one. Does it have to be in, like, a specific spot? No. Is it cobblestone? No? Was it like a stone stick? That's it? That's gotta be the biggest scam in the history of the world. 2 stone into 1 button. That's fine. I think I finally get to properly utilize the blacksmith. Is all these chests in here? And now, chests. There's all these furnaces, and I get to properly use them to make a bunch of stone. 4 stacks ought to be enough. Huh. Strange. So then I shall patiently await the completion of the stone. Well, after a patient wait for the furnaces, and then a patient wait for the nighttime to go away, I return with 4 stacks of stone. Well then, that is a lot of what I wanted to do here done. I replaced the floor with gravel. I have a little slab going down here. The rails are going to go along here once I make those. There's going to be a chest for minecart storage. Obviously these buttons will go the direction they need to go. I've still yet to come up with an idea on how I want to sort of connect it to over there, but I mean, at this rate, maybe I don't. Nah, I probably will. I'll need to come up with something, though. But at this point in time, all that's really left to do is to place the ballast for below the rail and the rail itself. So I will get to that. Well, it seems we may have another mining episode in the near future. There's an interesting predicament where it's hard to make powered rails without gold. So I will need to make an effort to go and get some. But in the meantime, it's probably going to work out that there's one powered rail here for the, to launch off of. There'll be 3 here to get you sort of up to speed. And then 3 more there. And of course, on the opposite side, the same thing. In order to just to be powered rails. There's not much else to it. But yeah, no, that's the idea. I think this has turned out quite well so far. And I'm gonna add the ballast here. Kind of just some gravel strewn about. And then we'll use some stone to fill in the gaps. Now I'm gonna make it uniformly stone. Darn, underneath the rail. just to make it easier to sort of, just to make it easier to make sure the rails are well kept, because then if I accidentally dig underneath them, I don't want the gravel to fall out from under the rail and cause issue. But on the sides, I'll add a little bit of the gravel just to kind of make it look rougher, because I think that looks quite nice. And now I get to use these exorbitant quantities of dirt to terraform this area to my liking. Perhaps I go through that cave. I actually think that's what I'll do. I'll go get ready for that. And so begins our delve into the cave. You know, I really should have expected that. Just spent several minutes getting ready for this epic quest, this epic adventure into the cave, and that was truly incredible. Maybe it's still salvageable. I hear stuff. Here we are. A skeleton too, I believe. Yes. There we go. Okay, well, not very salvageable. Goodness me. That's awesome. Very good. Just what I want to see. There we are. Oh, no, that is a third. There's a surprising number of these little these little underwater pools here. Having spent all that prep time. That's alright though, I'm actually quite happy about that. That means I can just cover this up and forget about it. Peacefully knowing that there is not a giant expanse of unlit caves right beneath me. I must say, I am quite pleased with how this has turned out. I'm sure I'll want to do something here-ish to kind of break up the monotony of grass, and this is kind of a harsh border here, but I actually don't think I'll do anything about the harsh border. But either way, I'm sure this will look much better once it's all properly grown. In fact, I think what I'll do is I might do... Yeah, I will. I'm going to do a little time lapse of the grass growing. I think that will look quite cool. Well, that's embarrassing. I paused my recording and started talking to myself for about 10 minutes. Uh, Not particularly helpful. Well, either way, that time lapse ended abruptly with getting hit off of the roof by a spider, and then as I got back up to remove said spider, a creeper came up and blew up part of the roof. That was really cool. I really appreciated that. As I was saying, next episode I'll probably work towards getting the gold for the powered rails. I might make a new building for storage. Not entirely sure how I want to handle storage in this world, but I definitely need a new solution. I'll make some way to get over to that section, or that little area from here. And, I mean, yeah, that's about it. So, you know, if you are still watching, I do appreciate it. If you like this style of editing, let me know in the comments. If you didn't, also let me know. Either way, I do appreciate your viewership, and I wish you all the best in your day-to-day.